Okay, today I'm following the trout and whitefish, which are following the salmon up the rivers. We've had a lot of rain again recently. Welcome to BC. A lot of salmon have moved around up and down in the river systems. The trout have gone with them as well. So have the whitefish. I'm gonna go around and see what I can find today. So stick with me, let's see what we can pull up. Trying to avoid the salmon. I can see the salmon, and I'm trying to keep the flies behind them and above them. There's a nice little fish right there. All right, nice little whitefish. The water is really low here right now, which is maybe tough to see from the camera angle. But a lot of the water is no more than 2 or 3 feet deep. There's a fair number of chum salmon, some coho salmon, all in right now. I'm not interested in either of those. I'm looking for the trout and the whitefish. So I'm really fishing my fly shallow. I'm using a very light bead, just a 3mm bead. Oh, there's a hit right there. And I'm trying to fish it around the salmon, not on the salmon, but very close to them. The fish seem to be, from what I've seen so far, actually closer to the salmon than sometimes you get. But I'm trying to keep the fly up high enough so that the salmon will avoid it. But the trout and whitefish won't. They'll go after it with a lot more gusto, and this is a nice little fish. It's got a very nice little cutthroat. I think he's a little bit upset. That wasn't a real egg that he got, but one of mine. If I can get him in. Usually I'd be really worried about spooking the whole run because it's very shallow water, it's clear water right now. But you know what, with all the chum and coho in here right now, I don't think the fish are getting that spooked. I mean, if they're not spooked already by the presence of the chum and the coho, then they won't be spooked by almost anything. Oh man, what a lovely cutthroat. Back this way. And he's running upstream. This is one of those beautiful cutthroat that's got that golden hue to him. Oh, just love it. And keep him away from that brush over there. Okay. Bring him around those chum. Keep him over here. A little bit more tired out. Really a nice fish. Just babying him a little bit more than I would normally just because he's such a beautiful fish. Here we go. Oh, there's a nice 3-pound or so cutthroat, maybe a bit bigger. Oh, there's a real nice, healthy looking cutthroat. Go back out there and do your thing, buddy. Okay, work back into position here. See if there's any more in that spot before I move on. After hooking a toothy critter like that, definitely want to check my leader and my fly and my knot. Bigger male cutthroat have definitely some sharp teeth. I'm looking out here, I can see the chum, I can see the coho moving around. You can too, I'm sure, from the camera. The whitefish though, and the trout, I can't see them at all. They're much more well hidden, blending in quite well. But I'm keeping my fly high above the salmon. Ooh, just pulled it out of his mouth there, that fish. If I was fishing now right more on the bottom, I bet you I would pick up more trout and whitefish, but I'd also be snagging or hooking, even fairly, a lot more chum. I just don't want to do that right now. Fortunately, the trout and whitefish are aggressive enough that they will come right up and grab whatever they can. Nice little whitefish. See if I can just release him without the net. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Depends how rambunctious they are. And whitefish are flip-floppers, so. There we go, just so lightly hooked. Get it back out there. See how many more out here. The little section I'm fishing here right now, so there's lots of runs in this river. This little section is no more than about 20 feet long. I can see maybe half a dozen chum right in front of me, but there's chum left of me, there's chum right of me, there's none behind me, but there's more in front of me, they're all over. And that makes the fish very happy, because they know there's a lot of eggs coming. And of course, I'm working in egg pattern. I mean, that's the thing you do when fish are feeding on eggs, the salmon are present, you match the hatch, so to speak. Ooh, and off he came. Now I am, when I fish with the fly, a little bit higher in the water column, and my hook set's a little bit more gentle. I'm going to drop the odd fish, and although that's embarrassing, you never like to lose fish. The reason why I do that is because I am trying to not hook a chum. I really want to make sure, even though I haven't had any chum hitting, I really try and make sure that that's not a chum that's taking the fly, or the hook's hit him in the back or something like that. I'm setting the hook into something like that, because that's not what I'm looking to do. I want to catch some more aggressive egg feeding fish that are here right now. Not that I'm knocking chum. As most people will tell you, you want to fish for a fish that can break your rod or you can have a lot of fun with, and it's not a sturgeon or a halibut. Chum are right up there. Oh man, this is a nice sea run cutthroat. Getting back into the water here. Beautiful fish. Not a giant one, but 30 centimeters or so. All right, I'm going to keep working this spot here just for a bit longer before I move on and check something else. Work my way downstream, upstream, whatever. Oh, there's one right there. But there seems to be enough fish in here that I don't think I would have to leave the spot for 6 hours. Well, maybe after 6 hours, but I think the beauty of fishing behind the salmon sometimes and catching the trout and whitefish that are around there is that there's probably 5 trout or whitefish for every single salmon. Oh, much like the last one. There you go. Get you back into the water. Whew. Okay. I'm actually not kneeling, even though it's low water, fairly low water and clear water with lots of fish that could be spooked. I want to be able to see what I'm hooking into before I set the hook too hard. And standing up actually gives you that little bit more of an advantage to cut through the glare, see what's going on, make sure you can see where the salmon are. You're not casting it right into a salmon's face. It's going to increase the odds that you're going to catch the cutthroat and the whitefish that you're actually looking for, or that I'm looking for. Like I mentioned a bit earlier, I'm not too worried about spooking the fish right now. You know, the trout and whitefish, if they're not spooked by the chum and coho that are in here right now, nothing will spook them. And they're so focused on feeding. I bet you I could walk right out there. I could probably stand out there or squat down there and the fish would still hit. So far, the salmon have been avoiding the fly quite a bit, which is great. Okay, just move down a little bit further. Put that thing down here. Again, the water's still pretty shallow. I have not been able to hook a fish close to me, so I'm gonna pushing myself further out, even though there should be fish right where I am for the depth. But for whatever reason, I haven't seen one here, so I'm going out a bit further to hit that far side of the seam. Oh, and there's a fish just like that. So for whatever reason, nothing close to me here, but they're liking a far seam over there. Nice little trout. Nice sea run cutty. Nice cutthroat trout. Back out into the water. Come on, little fishy. Or big fishy. Whichever. I'll take both of you. There we go. I just made a quick fly change and led to an instant fish. The takes are getting very subtle. Yeah, whitefish. Very happy to catch you, nice little whitefish. Send you back out there. Don't tell your friends about me. No, don't. All right. I'm fishing a nice run today. Gradual flow to it. It's maybe about 100 feet wide, fairly long run, nothing moving too fast. Lots of slack water on one side, moderate flow all on the other side. There's a very distinct seam with a bubble line going along there. And then it leads to a very large kind of slack back eddy where I'm standing right now. full of foam and stuff like that. Just saw fish rise right there. Don't know if you did, but I'm going after it right now. So stay with me. There's some depth out here. It's about, it's waist deep where I am right now. Doesn't look like it shallows up any going into the faster water. Here we go. There's the trout. Beautiful fish. Whoa. And around he goes. Tad bit rambunctious, I would say. And pull him away from the camera there. Oh, nice. Beautiful silver fish. Oh, yes. See what else we can find. Is there more? There utterly has to be. Water has about that perfect flow that you look for most situations. Sometimes fish are in faster water, sometimes they're in slower water, but this is that walking speed water that is just so nice to fish. It seems to be a very comfortable balance for the fish to sit in. Fast enough to bring food, slow enough to not have to overexert themselves. So. I want to work my way out just a little bit further. Get more of the main body of the run out there. Fish the edge a fair bit. So let's see if I can find anything right out here more in the main part of the run. And maybe even on the far side where there's another seam over there. Oh, and off he goes. Darn it. Didn't get him quite right. Oh, didn't even notice he was on the hook. That was bad. Gotta be some more here. So what did I observe today? Conditions were spotty overall, and what do I mean by that? I mean there was a lot of empty water, and before I would find fish, I would often have to do about 30 minutes of searching before I had a flash of maybe 5 minutes of activity. Then silence for the next while. Just limited moments of success. I attribute this to the fish sitting together in tight but small pods, leading to lots of fishless water, cold conditions, and salmon scattered up and down the system. It seemed tough to predict in advance where the fish would be, as a lot of good water had nothing, while some fringe water had numerous fish, and that meant a lot of blind casting and walking. But sometimes that's what you have to do until you find the water they are holding in, moving and searching. I have 3 words to describe the solution to this: focus, patience, and coverage. Fishing is as much a mental activity as it is a physical one, not dissimilar to golf, baseball, and other sports, and I am sorry to tell you that. There are many ways to measure success in fishing, from a therapeutic standpoint to a social standpoint, etc. One measure, though, could be how many fish you catch. I mean, it's not all about catching fish clearly, but at the same time, usually catching more fish is better than catching less fish. Even if you're the most casual person in the world, it's just funner to catch fish. In conditions where the fishing is spotty, or you're only catching a fish every now and then, often the mental portion that determines your decision-making process has the biggest impact on what you catch. I lost as many fish today as I landed, which is a very poor ratio for me or anybody. Part of this came down to the presence of the salmon and trying to not snag them, which changed my method of presentation, the cold conditions leading to some subtle takes, but also the long moments of inactivity followed by brief flashes of activity. The angler sometimes loses his focus under these conditions, which leads to not being prepared for the fish when you suddenly find them. It's a good reminder that focus is important. You should treat every drift as if you're going to get a fish. On spotty days, it's easy to get distracted, but if you lose your focus, when you get that brief flurry of activity, you may miss a couple of subtle takes you're going to get, and that may be all the river offers you all day. This also leads to the importance of patience. It helps to keep in mind on slow days that you have to put in your time and keep searching. More than likely, you'll eventually find the water that the fish are sitting in. You just have to have the patience to keep checking the different types of water to find where they are. Lastly, what helps you in all this is proper coverage. Sometimes you can just cherry pick or fish the prime spots and get away with having a great day. On spotty days, however, you may have to cover all the water to find the active fish. A seam might be where they all are, but you may find that 20 seams are completely vacant, whereas only one has all the fish in it. Or one hole they may be in the seam, and the next they may be in the deep pocket, or they may be in the tail out, etc. So you have to cover every type of water, step by step, to increase your odds. Grid the water and try to hit each cubic foot. When the days are tough, sometimes it requires a little bit more discipline. That's when focus, patience, and coverage become key factors in determining how many fish you catch, and perhaps if you have a good day or not. Of course, all this doesn't change the fact that I only went 50-50 on landing fish today, and that clearly I will need to do better next outing. Hopefully you'll join me for that next trip, and in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode.